Hey guys, Kevin the Toy Smuggler here, and just doing a touch and base with everyone here. I'm gonna adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to show you guys where I'm at with the Def Dealer. I'm not going to be sculpting this morning, so if anybody disappoints that, I apologize. It's just I've been trying to get up early, trying to really get this head knocked out. I'm trying to get it done this weekend, but I'm trying not to rush it too much because I'm truly going for perfection on this. This is the Def thing. Let's see if I can get a good shot here. I have to put the hand behind it. There we go. I'm really trying to take my time with this because anytime I try to do anything new and stuff like that, try to, with every new project, you try to do, up your game. And now I'm starting to get looked at a lot more and more every time I do something. So, and then this on top of this, this is the guy that come up this design was Frank Frazetta, like my all-time idol artist. I've watched him and looked at his stuff more than anybody else's artwork. And the thought, this, one day could be sitting somewhere in a package with his name and artwork on it, and be sitting in his museum possibly. There's all sorts of cool stuff. It's bottom line, it's got to be the best representation that can it possibly be, and that's where I'm at with that. And that's is the good and the bad, really, because it's a lot of pressure there, but I love the getting that pressure put on me, because usually what it somewhere does somewhere down the line, it helps me start getting to that next level. The only way you can go to that next level of professionalism is consistently be put in a position where that pressure's on you, and you're being in that position puts you to where you have to pull all stuff, rethink, look at things in different angles and stuff like that and everything. But one thing that I'm also going to be doing on this piece that I don't see on a lot of the statues of the Def Dealer and stuff, I'm actually going to be doing some battle damage. So back here in the back, I got a little bit more liberty. And you can see back here, there's not don't have anything going on yet. Right now, I'm trying to just work on that crown detail, which is right here, all the different buttons and stuff. Trying to get that detail. Oh, let me get that stupid camera. There we go. And trying to get that good and get the silhouette. Biggest thing I'm working on now is the silhouette. So I'm looking at somewhere when I come in here and get this design going here, I'm going to be doing some kind of like battle action, some scars, like where a battle axe is come across and hit one of the horns. So I'm going to be putting some little bit of battle damage. I'm going, I think that might be a good direction, because I think sometimes the paint works are usually really great on these Def Dealers, especially the bronze statue versions. Oh gosh, just to be able to have one of them would just be amazing. So, but I think I'm going to add just a touch up, maybe even a scar right here in the front of the helmet where a blade snuck in and stuff like that. Just trying to imagine if this guy was truly a real character and really in a battle, there should be all sorts of craziness be flying at him. So in this figure, when I get it done, we'll be sitting on top of one of these retro style bodies. And like I said, this is one of the Mego versions of the Romulan that just came out. And this guy's my Starman Arthur Taylor that we're working on. We'll be changing that outfit a little bit and everything. I think we're going to go with a solid black, and we may even decide to just go with that solid blue jumpsuit and stuff. So we're still trying to work out all that out and stuff. We're more concerned right now with the story of Starman than the action figure, but the action figure is definitely going to be a key point. And if everything works out, we should be sometime. See, this is already into the new month. We're looking at probably next month. We should see some completed figures of this line. Maybe even have the Omega, which is like the Black Knight, his nemesis, the bad guy in the whole series. So I'm gonna try to have a prototype done for him and everything like that. So that's where we're at with this. And something else I want to talk about, and I got me and a buddy of mine got to talking about toy collecting. Right now with all the virus junk going around, a lot of the comic shops are closing down. GameStop is closed. So flea markets have closed. So all the places where us guys like to go hunt, are kind of closed. The only thing that's kind of open right now is eBay. And I'm usually not the eBay kind of guy. I probably had more luck finding better deals off of Facebook versus eBay. And I think Facebook is probably Facebook, at least you can go to your different, like your Motu Nation, Motu Universe, Vintage Star Wars. There's so many different little places you can go, and then they got so many, anywhere between, they got thousands of members. So if you go post, hey, I'm looking for something, then that usually sometimes triggers. So here we go. Sebastian, oh, thank you very much. Hey, so the Death Dealer, hi. Love the character. Didn't like all Warduke look exactly. Yeah, Warduke, like I said, and somewhere down the line, I may design a Warduke in this style. I think Warduke in this style can probably be pulled off pretty easy, I think. And I think it would look great and everything. So thank you for that. Thank you for joining me this morning and everything. So I'm gonna give you, I don't know if you get it, how long you've been here watching, so I'm gonna give you another close-up look here at what I got so far. Yeah, I usually don't get but maybe one. Every once in a while I get two people on here this early in the morning. And the reason I'm again out here early this morning is I'm gonna be knocking out a video. I may even do another one tonight. I'm just getting prepared because Saturday afternoon, Sebastian, if you can join me at 2 o'clock, I'm gonna be going live Saturday afternoon. It's going to be meet the family. I'm going to try to have a couple people here. My wife's going to be getting in front of the camera, which she never likes doing, but I got her talking to do it. And my daughter's going to be running around, and so it'd be a great time to people to ask some crazy questions about what it is, the life being in here with the toy smuggler. It gets pretty crazy, it gets pretty wild, hectic, it gets messy. So if you want to get some dirt on the toy smuggler, that's going to be a great time to join us and ask a lot of cool questions. We'll answer anything. We've got nothing to hide over here and stuff. So please join me for that. And what I was getting ready to talk about, on the toy collecting side. So since all these avenues physically have shut down, we're kind of, with the Facebook and eBay, Amazon, and Etsy. And I don't care much for Amazon and Etsy. Seems like eBay, Amazon, and Etsy is like an extra 25 to 40%. Everything's just that much higher. And I'm very picky. I know what things are worth. So the be able to pay that much more for something it's hard for me to do. Even though if I got the money, I just can't do it because I know it's not worth it. So, but luckily I was on Facebook the other night and come across the guy who had some vintage, the retro style Planet of the Apes, and I got a great deal on two of them. And he also had a broken Cornelius, but it had a great head. It's only missing a leg, and I'm not even concerned because I got extra body parts, extra bodies laying around and stuff. So I'm looking forward, and I'm actually maybe even designing some ape heads here soon for reproduction, because I'm having a hard time. And that's something that where all of this conversation is leading up to, is I'm starting to notice the retro stuff, even though this is coming back, the vintage stuff is getting to be extremely hard to find. And we're talking Planet of the Apes stuff, the 3 3/4 filmation of Flash Gordon stuff is getting hard to find. And this too, and I even brought this down. I've still not done, I haven't even started the restoration. I got the vintage Lone Ranger here, and I don't have the real hat, but Tony from Analog Toys, I was talking about, and he said he had an extra one, so he's actually got one in the post. I think it's on the ocean right now. So the only thing I'm missing here, I'm going to be hand making a scarf, and I'm just missing the 2 pistols. So, and once I get those pistols, I'm going to clean the horse. The horse is very dirty, but I got it such a great deal. This was one of them toys I had as a kid, and when I seen it, I wasn't going to get on and buy it. I actually bought Trigger first, and I got such a great deal on it. Then it was like 9 months later, I come across the Lone Ranger here, and even though he was incomplete, he was such a great deal. I said there was enough here that it was worth getting started on. And like I said, I've been piddling on it now for nearly 3 years, working on it, trying to find all the pieces. But the sad thing is, the few that I do see out there, which I'm saying is few, I think I've only seen maybe 3 out in the wild in the last 3 years, and they're in very poor condition. I mean, just ratted out and and I'm not seeing any good. So it's like it's become very rare to even find these things, and that's what's causing sometimes when you do find a decent one, the prices are outrageous. So the point I'm getting to all this is, I think we're on the dawn here in just a few. I'm thinking about 5 years. I don't think it's going to take quite 10 years. I'm curious that collecting is either going to have a major shift or collecting is going to be kind of a hit a downward spiral. I think a lot of these retro channels that are only I'm talking about more so the guys who just sit here and do reviews and just talk about toys. Like I said, I make toys, so I got a little bit different point of view to make. Plus, I do some restorations. But I'm talking about more just for the guys who just sit back and review. I think the problem is, because like I said, I'm 47 years old, getting ready to be 48. And so I was right there at the time when G.I. Joe just came out, when Star Wars just came out. So I was right there in that prime time when G.I. Joe, Star Wars, and He-Man all hit full force. So, and I just kind of see your average collector. I'm not saying you're diehard collector. I'm a diehard collector. I'm going to be doing this to the day I die. But there's a lot of people there that are they're mostly casual collectors, or they're just in it to get it, enjoy it, and they flip it later. So I really do see possibly within the next 5 years that a lot of these guys are going to get out of it and be done with it because they're going to be in their 50s. And plus of that, I think within by the 10 more years. So I'm really thinking by 2025 and 2030, I think the Star Wars, the He-Man stuff, and all this are going to see a major decline. And I kind of hate that. And I'm kind of hoping that with the new Mattel He-Man stuff that's coming out, I'm hoping that will stop this from happening, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Because I hate to see, because I think collecting is in a good place right now. Now, I mean, we've had a lot of issues we've seen a lot of rise in prices really in the last 5 years. He-Man has shot up. Star Wars has, when the all these last three movies came out, all the vintage stuff went up a little bit. But I'm thinking here sometime by the end of this year, a lot of Star Wars stuff should be plateauing down a little bit and maybe become a little bit more affordable for you all and stuff. But I do see He-Man, unfortunately, is still climbing, and I think is so that's the good and bad with this new He-Man stuff coming out. Is I'm excited to see that it's going to be out in the store, it's going to be at Walmart, Target, and I actually can go and purchase a decent He-Man sculpt, and I'm excited. But I hate for the vintage stuff because that's honestly going to cause the vintage stuff to go up. So my tip to you guys now is if you like the vintage He-Man stuff, get out there and get it now, because unfortunately by the end of this year I see that your average complete He-Man figure probably going for about $100, and to me that just sounds ridiculous. It really does. I mean, I'm not, and I'm here to say it's not worth it. And that's the sad part. There's He-Man, as many He-Mans that were made back in the day, it just will not be worth it. But if you like the old He-Man stuff, but that price seems ridiculous, I would advise you just to hold out. By the end of the year, Mattel's going to have the new He-Man stuff, and from what I can tell, it's looking really good. So I'm actually excited for that. So if I was you guys, hold off and wait for the newer stuff, because they're going to be about the $15 price point, and it's going to be affordable, and you'll be able to get two of them, one to have out of package and one mint on card if you're that kind of guy that likes it. And it's still going to be so much cheaper than if you bought one vintage He-Man. So that's where I'm at on that. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time. I don't want to be negative about it, but I just want to throw some information out there. So if you're a He-Man fan or whatever, He-Man stock's going to be going up. Star Wars should be dropping a little bit for that this year. That's the two difference in those two. And unfortunately, now that the Black Series kind of version of the G.I. Joe stuff is coming out, that's only going to drive the prices of the vintage G.I. Joe stuff. So He-Man and G.I. Joe's on the climb, and Star Wars should be kind of on the downfall a little bit. Even though the Mandalorian's going to be hot, the good thing about it's the Mandalorian's all about really, even though it does have some nostalgia feel, but it's really concentrating on new line of toys. And I think that's a great direction for Star Wars. That way it kind of goes in a new direction, but it still has an old feel, and it shouldn't drive the old prices up. So I think I think they're actually at a decent balance for once. So, but you guys, another thing I want to talk about is in the era collecting here. Finally, since I moved and everything, I finally dug this out. Is I come across this about a year and a half ago. Is the Disney Park Indiana Jones. This is a more designed after the stuntman and stuff and everything. And like I said, as far as the Harrison Ford look, this is not a great look. But as far as just the inspiration of Indiana Jones, I really do like it. The only negative thing I can say is that, like I said, it don't look like Harrison, and it's at the 7-inch scale. I'm more of the legitimate 6-inch scale. I don't like the WWE figures that are. Let's see here. I got a 6-inch scale Supergirl here, and I just I like the true 6-inch scale better. She should be just a little bit taller. Like I said, I just don't think that the 7-inch scale displays well with the rest of the like Black Series kind of stuff. But I do have this, and the reason I drug him back out finally was I got a good deal over here at Battlegrounds. See, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I had this. I think it's from Diamond Select, the Mummy Boris Karloff and stuff, and I thought these two really complemented each other really. And he come with a bronze statue, Pharaoh. It's a female Pharaoh type character and everything. I thought that went really well and stuff like that. So that's where I'm kind of at with my collecting. I'm getting picky. Like I said, I got some Planet of the Apes coming on the way, and I'm actually going to be, like I said, going to be making my own version of the Planet of the Apes. I'm going to be doing I'm going to make my own new soldiers' heads and coming out with different costume ideas and stuff like that. So that's something you may see somewhere down the line. Like I said, it was the Mego Batman and Robin and Spider-Man. And then that was my first action figures ever. And then I think I got the Evil Knievel. And then I had about 3 or 4 of the Planet of the Apes from the TV series. So, and I remember playing with those, and I remember sitting in the living room watching the TV show and everything. So I'm really excited about getting these Planet of the Apes figures in, because I think it's going to really help me, inspire me to do the sculpts and to get that and make that into the reality. And I think it'd be cool just to have the Starman characters I got on the same shelf with the Planet of the Apes stuff. I just think that's going to be cool. It's going to be kind of fun to display, and that's where, like I said, I'm at my collecting is what new stuff am I going to design, like the retro version Death Dealer is. Like I said, this is where my collecting is. It's about designing new things to come out, and that's going to be my focal point the next few years, and to kind of see where the collecting world is going to end up and everything like that. So, Sebastian, thank you for joining me this morning. Please share this with anybody, and like I said, guys, I will keep everybody updated. I'm going to give everybody another last look here at the Death Dealer and where I'm at. Nowhere near finished with this, but I'm hoping by Sunday I'll have a completed head here and show you what it looks like. And I may even set it on top of a retro style body. That way you guys kind of see the scale of it and see how it balances out and everything. So, guys, thank you for joining me this morning. Totally enjoyed it. Enjoy your toy collecting. Don't let none of this slow you down. I'm the Toy Smuggler. You have a great day.